campaign is that it's stated there very clearly, 1 to 7 are the formative years. What would you like to say about that?
Oh, I agree with that, and I think that needs to be brought to the top and maybe on every major billboard across every nation there is. Because look, we don't have a chance to rewind this and do it all over again, but all of the science is on our side. It really says that a child's brain is most plastic during those times, that it really is formative, and those are the times when we can build our influence. Those are the times our kids are actually there and tuning in, and those are the prime years for developing your child's not only just character, but social, emotional, and physical well-being. So we take those moments in time. We also be really clear to parents that this doesn't mean it has to cost anything. It's not an extra tutor, it's not an app, and it's not a program. It's just our presence. It's just connecting with our kids and getting to know each other, and there's nothing more critical.
That is truly a powerful message. Ms. Kapili, since she is, Dr. Borba has already cited that 1 to 7 formative years to build character should be plastered all over, how did Jollibee come up with that insight that it is necessary to take advantage of the growing up years in character building?
Well, as you know, Jollibee has always been about the Filipino family, and we always, in our work, we try to find ways to celebrate that. And how do we give back to the Filipino families who have made us, well loved for the past 40 years? I mean, look at the realities today, and we both touched on it. The screen time, gadgets, iPads, cell phones, it's really a different, I guess that's what's different this time to raise a child versus in the past with their parents, right? And another thing I noticed with children today, as early as 1 year old, there's already school. They can go to school at 1, and before it was just at 4 years old. So we think as parents, okay, I'll enroll him in school, I'll give him apps in the iPad so that he learns early on, as early as 1. But is this really the right way to bring up a child correctly? And then we went through the research, came across Dr. Borba's talks as well, on TED Talks even. And what we see there, the science is on your side, as Dr. Borba says. It's going back to basics. It's being present for your child and just being there for them during these formative years of 1 to 7. And so being a big brand that we are, we felt that it was critical to lend a voice for that advocacy, and this is where that came from. This is how the advocacy for this campaign was born. We wanted to bring that message across to Filipino families everywhere that, even if times now are changing, it becomes harder to raise a child, you really just need to be present for your child, go back to basics, spend quality time, be a model of good behavior for your children, and that's really the best way that you can raise your children.
Thank you very much to Jollibee for spreading all of those great characteristics that we definitely know are very Filipino and something that we want our children to have. Miss Aiza, from your experience, how are you able to still instill positive traits in your kids even during tough times? Like, for example, they're acting up, throwing a tantrum, and it's in public, and everyone's watching you, all eyes are on you. How are you still able to, be positive and instill those great traits?
I think the most crucial thing here is to remember that being a parent, we have to know when it is not about us. Because sometimes if it's a tantrum in public, you think, oh my gosh, the people watching will think, what kind of a parent am I? Or my child is doing a discipline, right? It's not about us. That has happened with my son. He likes throwing tantrums in a grocery. There was one time in a grocery, and my philosophy is ignore bad behavior or ignore negative behavior and a lot of affirmation for positive behavior, because I know sometimes it's getting attention. So I'd ignore that, and then he would still be in the floor. And then he'd stop crying and he starts looking at the ceiling, and then something fascinates him and he's already there. And then later on that behavior is gone. So it's not really forced anymore, but it's really crucial. My kids are tweens, so a lot of questions, a lot of conversations, anything they see on TV, and that's why censorship is very important. If they're always on screen and you don't know which sites they go to, it's pretty scary what they go to. So a lot of conversations, a lot of processing. How you saw that? How did you feel about that? It may be on the news, maybe on a show, maybe something that happened in school. Also, that happened. Well, how did you feel about that? So a lot of conversations for asking questions, not I lessen my telling. I lessen my advice giving. It's more asking and listening. So I know where they're coming from. I know what perspective they're taking. And when I join them, that's where I can help guide a little bit. But it really takes a lot of listening and empathy.
To everyone in our